welcome back to Conversations in the Cockpit. Today I have with me my friend Shae, and we're going to be talking a little bit about helicopters because she works as a marketer for Vertiport. So that's going to be very cool to talk about. So for everyone who's watching and who has never heard of Vertiport, what is it and what do they do?
So Vertiport is a private helicopter airport based out of Bilson in Chicago. We like to think of it as like O'Hare, but for the helicopters. So the building itself is like O'Hare, and we have two companies that operate out of the building, so they're like Southwest and United. We have Fly Heli, that's a tour company that operates tours around the city 7 days a week. And then we have DS Luxury, which is a car rental company that rents out supercars, and they have memberships. And
what kind of supercars?
They have a huge variety of cars: Ferraris, McLarens, Rolls Royce.
Love that.
It's so fun, yeah. So being in the office every day is exciting. There's a million different helicopters and cars, you know. Everything's exciting every day.
Yeah, you gotta get that helicopter to match the car, right? So what kind of clientele normally comes in for that kind of stuff?
There's a ton of people that come in every day, from people just doing tours. There's a lot of people that are just in town. Surprisingly, there are a lot of people that are from Chicago that come in to do the tours that just didn't even know that there's a helicopter tour company in Chicago, and they see our helicopters flying around the city, and
and then they get curious and want to come in,
and everyone wants to do it. So.
Fun.
And then we also have, we're an FBO for pilots, so we have medical helicopters, police helicopters, private helicopters landing every day. Anyone can come and land, so there's always someone different and exciting coming in, and
that's fun. Yes. So do you remember your first helicopter ride, and what was that experience like?
I do. How could I forget? It's funny because I found Vertiport by following Danny. I had met him a really long time ago. That's my boss, Daniel. He's the CEO now of Vertiport. And I saw what he was doing, and it looked so fun and exciting, and I just reached out to him. I was living in the suburbs and decided one day that I wanted more, and I was like, I want to be a part of that. It looks so fun. So I reached out, and he was like, we have an event tomorrow. They were hosting Ferraris on the one-way event, and he was like, come in tomorrow, help out. I showed up, and he was like, you start Monday. And that day that I came in, he was like, I think sent me an email the day before and was like, by the way, you're going up at noon with one of the news helicopters or something. And I was like, I sent the screenshot to my mom. I remember her being like, what? I'm like, this is the job I found. She's like, helicopters, what? But it was a really cool flight, and it was terrifying, but so exciting.
Yeah. I've flown in a helicopter a couple of times. One time somebody was like practicing auto rotations, and then the other time I was like actually allowed to like fly it and stuff. And I just remember like he was trying to teach me how to hover, and I just could not get it. Like I just like kept moving a little bit too far forward or a little too far backwards, or I was like off to the side. And it's just like my hand was constantly moving, so I prefer my fixed wing. This is so much easier to like handle and operate.
A lot of pilots do say that it's very different from flying helicopters to plane.
Oh yeah. So people sometimes think helicopters are scary. Why do you think they have that reputation?
I think people think that because often helicopters are associated with emergency flights and like medical landings and operations, so they connect it to like trauma and terror. But really people don't know like how much it goes into planning and precision and just really knowing what is going on, and how helicopters really can be the only thing that can save people sometimes.
Yeah, like you were talking, like they have medevacs and stuff there, and then donor transports and everything, right?
Yes, yeah. The medical helicopters can land 24 hours. They can come in the middle of the night. Anytime a baby, an organ, a child is landing, Vertiport is open 24 hours with no grants from the government to give back to the community. So we're really just like there to help, and we have to keep the gates open. Our staff is there to go out and help the ambulances coming in and be there to help support that any way we can.
Awesome. From your experience at Vertiport, what's something about helicopter safety that most people would be shocked to learn?
One of the most shocking things for me, I think, when I started was that it's public knowledge to know all of the helicopters and where everyone is all the time.
I like how you can check them on radar.
Yes. So when I first started, they're like, get your email app, get this app, and get flight radar, because you can like see everything. Like they obviously have like the big screen in the airport where we're watching everyone coming in and out, but I just
traveling has to keep track of when they're coming in and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You can service them and stuff.
Right, yeah. So it's really cool. I'll even be, my office is in the hangar. It's very like tucked away, but I'll still be able to hear if there's like a really loud medical helicopter coming in. I'll hear it, and then I'll be like, during my office work, I'll be like, oh, who's that? And go pull up the flight radar, and it'll say, NBC News, and it'll say, it's really cool. You can see where they're coming from, where they're going. You can see their view of what they can actually see while they're flying. It's really cool. A lot of people don't know how much you can see. Like, it's public knowledge.
Yeah, how much of that stuff is just like, they have to track it, so.
Yeah.
Do you think social media has helped or hurt the public's perception of helicopters?
I think that's an everyday change, just like most things. Something will go viral on the internet and everything will think helicopters and flights are the coolest thing in the world and everyone will want to come and do it. And then the next day they'll see something and be scared again. So
yeah,
just like everything, people will change their minds every day.
Oh yes, because there was that one helicopter crash like a while back. It was like at like a car show or something like that.
Oh,
you remember what I'm talking about, Kyle?
In California or something?
Yeah, it was in California. Yeah, where like the tail rotor just kind of like went flying off of it. So
it's definitely terrifying to see things happen like that, and sad as always. And just like anything can happen, in a car or walking down the street. It's just like
this is true.
Always scary to see.
Always scary. Just like that UPS crash that happened recently. We were talking before setting this up. You said the future of aviation isn't in the sky, it's in the cities. What did you mean by that?
I meant that in a way that the future of aviation is coming in with like these air taxis, and right now we're just building into a bigger community. Vertiport right now is already set up for all of that. Like our groundwork and everything is building for that to become someday. But it's moving closer to aviation being more accessible and moving from downtown city locations. Like it's going to be easier to Uber from a taxi from downtown to the game. It's not just going to be airports and transfers like long distance travel. It's going to be able to take you 20 minutes away. It's going to pick you up and Uber you down the street. It's going to be more like in the city works and hopping around like downtown in the city than it is just like up in the air and over the city.
Yeah, because I think like in cities it's like really hard because like the buildings are really close together and there's just like traffic everywhere, congestion. And I know like especially like in Chicago, Soldier Field, like the traffic after a game is ridiculous. It's impossible to get out in less than like 2 or 3 hours.
Oh yeah.
So I think we're gonna go into like electrical, vertical takeoff and landing vehicles. How close are we really to seeing flying taxis or eVTOLs as part of daily life?
I think we're closer than a lot of people think. I'm sure everyone's really excited and confused about what's going on. Obviously, there's a lot of airport restrictions and things that need to be finalized. We already have them, made and up and running. They just did one in Dubai. They're flying them around. I think they did that in California. They have them made and up and running and ready to go. It just depends on getting everything finalized and safety regulations and who's going to be the first, Southwest United to get there.
Yeah. I think that'd be really cool if we got all that stuff going, because then it would feel like you're in Star Wars, like how they had like different levels of flying vehicles and stuff.
Yes, definitely. It's going to be very cool for sure. I'm really excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, because I remember, have you ever done like the architectural tour of Chicago?
On the boats and stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So you know how like they'll point out like the buildings where like they have the landings for the blimps? And
Yeah.
now like back in the 1920s they thought that that was going to be like the new way to like travel.
Yeah.
And then that one exploded. I always forget the name of it. It starts with an H.
Oh, yeah. I remember doing a painting of it in like high school or something.
The Heisenberg or something.
Yes, yeah.
Heisenberg.
I can't believe I remember that.
Yeah. So it's just like so funny how we've gone from like that to like now it's like electrical vehicles and like we're still trying to like do like the same concept.
Yeah.
But now it's like it seems like an actual reality.
It's crazy how like versatile and you can do really anything in the helicopters. Like even the smaller ones, like the R-44, they really can. I mean, we can land in a backyard of a house. Like they really know what they're doing, and it's really cool. We really could be landing on top of buildings and stuff, but like you said, like the downtown area is so busy. Even in air traffic control, like there's always something going on in Chicago. You know, whether it's at Soldier Field or United Center, like they have TFRs everywhere.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, the TFRs are difficult to deal with. So, what is the most memorable story or flight you've seen come through Vertiport?
Come through or go on a helicopter? It's come through, I was gonna say, about a year ago when I first started, I think, oh no, it was during the DNC. They had a bunch of Black Hawk helicopters come into the airport.
Okay, that's cool.
It was very cool, because up until that point I had just seen the smaller helicopters like R-44, the A-Stars, you know, R2 helicopters are kept there, but coming in and out, just the smaller ones. And one day my boss told me, he's like, we're going to have Blackhawks coming in, and I wasn't really like informed on what they were at that time. Like I knew. So when I saw those coming in, I was like, this is like the movies. Like it was like 3 like huge helicopters and all of these military men, and they camped out and stayed for a few days. So it was like we were hosting, and it was just a really cool experience. And
that's fun. Yeah, the Blackhawks are like really cool to like see, and then they have like all the like hand signals that they go through like on the ground and stuff.
Yeah, and each of the Blackhawks had like different names, and they had like, you know, paintings on them and symbol. Like it was just cool to see that they have like this whole another world that they live in.
What's your favorite view of Chicago from the air?
It's definitely coming in from the suburbs when you're coming up to Chicago. It's like a little bit fuzzy of a view, but seeing the whole skyline like up against the water.
Yeah, just kind of like slowly like get further into your perception.
Yes, yeah, because it looks so small, and then it's so big, and it's definitely a beautiful view.
Yeah, I've done the skyline a couple of times, and that is always like so nice. Like flying over like Navy Pier and like over by Millennium Park and seeing it up close and stuff is like very cool.
They do those tours every day. Fly Heli does the scenic tours, so the helicopters go up and go down to the end of the skyline, down the water line, and around the block. So I've gone up in a good amount of those, and each time it's still just as beautiful.
Yeah, the skyline looks different from the sky.
Yeah.
What is something that you've learned about aviation just from walking around pilots every day?
I learn things every day, honestly, and it's really cool. It's like a new opportunity to learn every day, but I guess it's how much is really put into it. I mean, obviously you can tell looking at the helicopters and the pilots, all of the buttons, it's very overwhelming, but it's really like you have to be focused, and you have to really remember everything you're doing. In every flight, everything is very specific, everything is very planned out.
Just like a lot that happens on the ground before you get into the air.
Oh yeah, for sure. A lot of preparation, a lot of planning, just a lot of like clean and organization, like a lot of. And I think I'm learning that a lot every day. Like the more that you plan and stay organized and stay clean, the easier everything goes.
Yeah, the smoother the flight is.
Yes.
Because anything can happen while you're flying, so we want to try and like make it so that there's as little as possible that can happen when you're flying.
Yes, for sure.
If you could describe the feeling of being in a helicopter in 3 words, what would they be?
I would say freeing, addictive, and peaceful.
I like that.
Addictive for sure. That was one of the first things my boss said. He was like, because I was like, I'm going up tomorrow. He's like, yeah, there's no reason to be nervous. The only thing you have to be scared about is getting addicted to it. And here I am, addicted to it. Yeah, I'm like, let me fly the plane.
I mean, maybe we could figure out how to fly around a little bit. That'd be fun.
I would love it. I would never say no.
Alright, we'll do a couple of rapid fire and then we'll wrap it up. So, doors on or off?
I've never gone up with the doors off, but I know I'm going to be obsessed with it, so doors off.
Okay. Sunrise flight or sunset?
Sunset for sure.
City lights or mountain views?
City lights.
If you could fly anywhere tomorrow, where would you go?
In a helicopter, New Buffalo for sure.
Okay. And then, what's one thing that makes you fall in love with aviation again every day?
I'd have to say the sky, just the view. Every time you go up, clouds are different, the colors are different. It's never the same. Absolutely beautiful. And then just being a part of this aviation world, like this job starting off took me in so many places and so many different directions. I had no idea I'd ever get here in life, right? But it's moments like these where, you know, I ended up in a news helicopter one day. We're not going to talk about that one, but and then
that's fair enough.
Like moments like these, I end up here with you. Like this aviation and this community brought me here today, and I get to spend this day in my first Piper Aero 2 in a Piper. And it's so beautiful and it's so exciting, and it's moments like these that the aviation community just brings people together, and I'm so lucky to be a part of it and happy to be here.
Yeah, and the aviation community is so small too. Like everybody knows everyone, and it's just like small town vibes.
Yes.
So what exactly do you do at Vertiport other than, because you said a little bit about marketing?
Yes, it's so funny because I was working in hospitality in like a really small town for 10 years. And like I said, one day I just woke up and I was like, I want to do something completely different with my life. Packed up, moved to the city, found Vertiport, found my boss Daniel. I took a chance jumping into this world, and he took a chance on me. And I started off with, I even like applied for like helicopter operations. We have line techs that work, and they do like fueling and like maintenance for the facility and stuff like that. Yeah, so that would be like bottom grounds of me starting off. And my boss Daniel saw that I wanted to do more, and so he put me into social media and marketing because I have a little background in like graphic design. But I just started off with that, and every couple months we would move, and I would move into something, and I would be eager to like help and be a part of it. So I do run the socials, the social media. I do marketing. I attend networking events in the city.
Nice.
So Vertiport, because we are open 24 hours for free to community, the way that we stay alive is by hosting events and charters and the tour company. So every time somebody books a tour or an event or even a charter, the money goes back to the community. That's how we stay alive, our operations.
Yeah.
So a little bit of what I do in marketing is just kind of getting the word out there of who we are and what we do, and bringing in more revenue for the company so we can stay open for these medical flights that people don't really know about. You know, there's people landing at 2 a.m. every day, and medical emergencies that people have no idea that are happening. So it's cool to be a part of those life-saving missions, and knowing just these little things that you're posting on social media is like giving back to saving lives, you know?
So, how many like different like helicopter like landing pads are there in the city?
Vertiport is actually the only one in the Chicago area. You can obviously like land helicopters at the other private airports, DuPage and Chicago Executive, O'Hare. But we are the only helicopter airport in the area. So we don't have a landing pad for planes. It's vertical only. We have 4 landing pads. The 4th one is open 24 hours for the medical helicopters. We keep it no one's allowed to park there. Our tour company usually has the first helicopter pad that they run and operate out of every day. Sometimes they'll have two. On the weekends, they're a little busier in flights. They'll bring out the bigger helicopter that fits 6 people, so they'll operate off the pad 2.
Okay.
And then
That one's not the Robinson, is it?
the Robinsons are the R44s, the smaller ones. So I think Fly Heli just bought a third one, so they have 3 Robinsons, the R44s, and then they have 1 A-Star, the bigger helicopter that's
Okay.
6.
I think I saw you post about it the other day, and you're like, I can take 12 passengers or something like that.
Oh, so that was actually AW109 that came in from Leonardo Helicopters. That was a beautiful helicopter. It flew in from New York, actually. It was a really long flight. Yeah. So the manufacturers of the company were coming to Chicago to show it off to see a potential buyer that wanted to buy it. That was my first time seeing a helicopter, besides the Blackhawks, but they usually don't have the seats in them that could fit that many people, though. So I know me in the marketing immediately, I was like, I have a helicopter here that fits 12. Who wants to go around the block? The internet was loving it. They're like, I'll be there in 5.
Yeah. I need to come there sometime and run a car or something. I would love to just like have like a Ferrari to drive around Chicago for the day.
I love it. That's one of my favorite things to do. I've taken them out a few times around the city, and the attention alone that it gets is it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Along with the adrenaline that we both love.
Oh, yes.
Hey guys, thank you again for watching. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and comment. I really appreciated all the engagement on the last video. I love reading your comments. I love responding. So please, please, please comment more. You guys actually gave me like a couple of ideas for videos too. So thank you so much for that. And stay tuned for the next one.